guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here, and if you're new, welcome. We're happy you found us. Today we're doing part 2 of ideas for using the littlest pieces of leftover scrap fabric. So come with me and let's get started. Okay, so I do have a bunch of little scraps on my desk, that's for sure. I also have some bigger pieces, so I'm going to give you some ideas, but first we're going to use the littler pieces. And if you have a piece like this left over, you can use this. I mean, normally people might say, oh, I'm going to chunk this, but you can use it, and I'm going to show you a couple of ways. One, you can make little banners. So you just cut it apart, and any place where you can cut a little flag shape into it, do it. And then you'll have little banner pieces. And you can make a banner across a page, across a tag, in a mixed media piece. Okay, so you can cut little banner pieces out. And then save the leftover pieces, because we can do something with those. Another thing you can do with a piece like this, that doesn't look like it's good for anything but the scrap bin, is to cut strips out of it. And just cut what's left into fabric strips. They're going to be different sizes. That's fine. Different lengths, different widths. It doesn't matter. You're just going to use it because you're trying to use the whole piece of fabric. Because fabric and fashion and fabric is one of the most wasted things. Because we throw so much away because we deem what's left unusable. So I'm trying to give you ideas with this 2-part series on what you can do. Okay, so now you have some strips this length, different lengths, okay? One, you can put them together like this. You can hook them to a safety pin, or you can sew them all together and make a tassel. You can tie them together and get longer pieces to fold over and make a tassel. You could take a piece of paper that you're working with for a page. Okay, so say this piece of coffee stained paper is going to be a page in your junk journal. What you can do, I'm going to take a craft knife. But you can do this with scissors if you don't have a craft knife. And I'm just going to cut little slits along the side of my paper. So you cut some slits along the side, and you can take scraps like this and just feed it through the slits. So this is a great use for those odd shaped scraps, like I said, like this shape. You cut the strips from it, and then you take those strips, and one way to use them is to make a tassel, tie them together, and make long pieces to tie, around something. You can use them as tag ties, or you can use them to run up and down pages like that. So that's a fun thing to do with them, and they don't go to waste. Okay, the next thing you can do is take just a square of fabric, fold it like an accordion, just back and forth, like that, stitch the bottom, and you have a fan. And this is our fabric we made with our napkin pieces to make like a quilted looking fabric or a different pattern. So that's pretty cool. And I turned it into a fan. So all you do is fold it accordion style and sew it at the base, and you have a fan. Another thing you can do is fold it in that same accordion style, and then cut each of these pieces into strips. And then once you get it all cut into strips, you're going to have a tassel like this. And it's really cute, and you can put it on a page, on a tag, or whatever. And it's a great use for your leftover fabric. Okay? Another use is, this is some more of that fabric that we decoupaged napkin onto. in our napkin video. And what you do is you take leftover bits of fabric, any size, and you put a bunch in there, and then you sew right down the middle, and you've made like a cute little fabric junk journal for a pocket or for a tuck spot, and it'll have fabric pages, and it's just the cutest little thing. And I'll link the napkin video and down below, and I'll link part 1 fabric too. Now another thing is, when you have fabric this size, cut shapes out of it. Whether you're cutting little flags to make banners, you could cut hearts for banners or just for hearts. You can cut flower shapes and stuff them with leftover fabric. That's another great use for it, is to take your scraps and stuff into your shapes you cut, sew them or glue them shut, and you'll have little 3D images on all of your pages. Another thing you can do is to take fabric that's a little bigger but still doesn't have a great purpose, and take your leftover white napkin pages that you pull apart from the actual part of the napkin that maybe you want to, decoupage on a tag or something. You take the white part and a piece of scrap fabric, and you take some just plain regular decoupage, and you put the decoupage on the fabric, the underside surface, not the bright top side. And then you just put your napkin down, just like you would put a napkin on paper. And then you just decoupage the top. Like I said, just pretend like it's on paper. You do it the exact same way. And I don't know if you watched the napkin video. If you didn't, like I said, I'll link it below. But when I decoupage napkin, I always start from the center and brush outward. Okay, and I'm going to dry this real quick. So you've decoupaged your white napkin part onto your fabric, and see, but it's got that surface, and guess what? You can now write on it like it is paper. How cool is that? So this would make a really cool different type of page in a journal, different type of texture on a mixed media piece. You could use just the strips in a mixed media piece. It doesn't even have to actually be a shape. Another thing you can do with leftover fabric is Mod Podge it onto wax paper like we did our leftover napkin bits. And again, you will have a different kind of journal page or tag or note card, whatever you want to do. It'll have color, it'll have interest, it'll have a different kind of pattern to it. So this is a neat idea, and this can use up even the tiniest little bits. Like, you won't have to throw anything in the trash if you do this. And that's good, because we hate throwing stuff away. And fabric's one of the biggest things that end up in the trash. So that is another great use. And the last idea I have for you is something really cool. You can take an old piece of packaging, fold it in half, and you're going to make a corner for your junk journal. So you just get whatever size, cut out whatever size you need, and you kind of cut at an angle and then cut in, and then, like I said, it depends on your junk journal, but you cut in and then you cut up and then you cut an angle, and I'm gonna have to trim. Okay, so you have your corner and it's open, so you'll just want to glue the end there so you can actually slip this on a page, right? But you want to take your fabric before you attach it, because it actually looks like this before you attach it. And you take your fabric scrap and you just glue it on. So I just got some Elmer's glue that I'm putting on the outside of the package that I'm going to glue to the fabric. You can use fabric glue if you want, but believe me. And this is just a scrap of fabric I had. And what I'm going to do is put this down on there, and it's going to stick just fine. And then I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to cut. And you can cut right up to it, or you can leave a little around the edges. I'm just leaving just a tad around the edges, but that's totally up to you. Okay, and then once you get it all cut, then you fold it up and you trim some more then, because you can see One needs to be trimmed better because you want it all to fit just like a nice corner. Then you have an awesome corner to put on that is unique to put on your journal page or your cover. So how cool is that? And very simple to make. So I've given you 2 tassels, a little fan, a safety pin tassel, a sewed tassel. Also, this can be just fabric for tags. I've given you a page using the fabric strip, a decor idea for the page by weaving it in. It looks cool on both sides. We've had the fabric that you write on. We have our itty bitty bits that you can Mod Podge onto your wax paper and have a whole new kind of journal card tag or journal page. And we have our little fabric junk journal, which would look super cute. And we have our cover page book corner covers. Our cover or our page cover corner covers. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. So 8 more ideas to use up the tiniest scraps or bigger scraps of fabric, whatever you have left. That way we are throwing less in the trash and we're using more. So I hope you like this. If you did, be sure and give it a thumbs up and be sure and hit that subscribe button and the little bell so you'll know when we post. Thanks for being here, guys. Take care and stay warm. Mwah. Bye.